Imagine being dropped into the blistering Sahara Desert or the freezing heart of Antarctica. No coat, no shelter, no supplies. For most humans, it's a death sentence. But for some animals, these conditions are home. From the icy tundras to the scorching sands, animals have developed astonishing ways to survive where death lurks in every gust of wind. Their bodies adapt, evolve, and resist extremes we can hardly comprehend. And yet each of these creatures lives on the edge, where one misstep could mean death. So how do they do it? How do they keep going where life seems impossible? Let's start in the Arctic, where temperatures can plunge below -60 degrees Fahrenheit. Animals like the Arctic fox don't just survive, they thrive. Their fur is dense and layered, changing color with the seasons to camouflage and conserve heat. Blood vessels in their paws constrict to reduce heat loss, and their compact body shape minimizes surface area. But survival here isn't just about warmth. Food is scarce, predators are many, and the cold can kill in minutes. Every move must be calculated. One mistake lingering in the open, chasing the wrong prey, and it's over. Now, shift to the opposite extreme, the burning deserts. Here, heat is relentless, and water is a luxury. Camels store fat in their humps to convert to water and energy, while their nostrils close to keep sand out. The fennec fox's oversized ears act like radiators, dispersing heat. But desert life isn't a peaceful sunbathe. During the day, temperatures soar past 120 degrees Fahrenheit, and at night, they can plummet to freezing. Animals burrow, hide, or become nocturnal to dodge the heat. But if they fail to find shelter, or make one wrong move, dehydration or heat stroke seals their fate. Let's not forget the high-altitude survivors, animals like the snow leopard and yak that call mountainous terrains home. Oxygen levels are dangerously low, and temperatures are icy. Their lungs and blood are uniquely adapted to process thin air, and their bodies grow thick, insulating fur. But with every breath, a struggle, and each step a risk across crumbling cliffs. Survival is a balancing act. One slip, one avalanche, and it's the end. Here, even the act of hunting becomes a gamble where missing a single meal can mean starvation. Some animals don't just endure harsh weather, they manipulate it. Take the emperor penguin, enduring brutal Antarctic storms with wind speeds of over 100 miles per hour. Males huddle by the thousands in tight circles, taking turns in the center where it's warmest. They fast for months, while protecting eggs on their feet. But if one penguin strays from the group or loses its balance, it faces freezing to death within hours. This unity is their shield, but it's also a fragile balance that must be constantly maintained. Reptiles in extreme environments use entirely different strategies. The Gila monster, found in arid deserts, spends up to 95% of its life underground to avoid the heat, stores fat in its tail, and can go months without food. But this comes with a risk. Emerging too early could mean dehydration. Too late, and it might miss its only chance to eat or mate for the season. Their survival depends on a precise internal clock and flawless environmental reading. Some amphibians have evolved to defy the seasons entirely. The wood frog, for instance, freezes solid in the winter. Literally, its heart stops beating, and ice crystals form in its tissues. Come spring, it thaws and returns to life. But if the freeze is too deep, or the thaw comes too late, the frog won't wake. It's a terrifying game of freeze and revive, balanced on the razor's edge of time and temperature. Marine life has its own extremes. Deep-sea creatures live in perpetual darkness and near-freezing temperatures, where water pressure would crush a human. The Antarctic icefish produces antifreeze proteins in its blood to keep it flowing, while others, like the giant squid, endure frigid depths with slow metabolisms. But the cold slows movement and reaction, leaving them vulnerable. Every encounter is life or death, and misjudging a predator or prey can lead to starvation or worse. Let's not forget the Sahara silver ant, arguably one of the most hatch-resistant creatures on the planet. It forages in the desert's scorching midday heat when predators retreat. Racing across burning sands that can reach 160 degrees Fahrenheit, it is only minutes before overheating becomes fatal. Its silvery coat reflects sunlight, and long legs lift its body above the searing ground. But if it lingers just a little too long, it bakes alive. It's a daily race against death. Even in tropical climates, animals face deadly challenges. High humidity and relentless rain can lead to fungal infections and overheating. Sloths, for example, move slowly to avoid raising their body temperature and to stay unnoticed. But that slowness comes at a cost. Predators like jaguars and harpy eagles need only moments to strike. Every second of stillness is both a strategy and a gamble. Surviving extreme temperatures isn't just physical, it's deeply behavioral. Meerkats use social structures to take turns watching for danger while others forage. Prairie dogs construct elaborate tunnel systems to regulate temperature and avoid surface heat. But these systems are vulnerable. Collapsing tunnels or intruding predators can decimate entire colonies in minutes. Their survival hinges on constant cooperation and precise planning. In Australia, the thorny devil lizard has skin grooves that channel water directly to its mouth. It drinks by simply standing in the rain or on morning dew. But rainfall is rare, and one dry season to many can mean extinction. Adaptation isn't always enough. The environment must still cooperate. And in a world increasingly altered by climate change, the reliability of these natural cues is vanishing. Birds have taken to the skies to manage temperature challenges. Migratory birds like the Arctic tern travel from pole to pole, chasing ideal climates. But such journeys span thousands of miles and require perfect timing. One missed signal, one hurricane, drought, or late bloom of food can leave them stranded and starving. Migration is one of nature's greatest risks, and there's no turning back. Polar bears are icons of cold survival, yet they're also among the most vulnerable to climate change. Their thick fur and blubber protect them, but their real challenge is hunting. They rely on sea ice to catch seals. As that ice melts earlier each year, polar bears are forced to swim farther, fast, longer, and risk starvation. Their adaptations, once perfect, are now being pushed to the brink. Some creatures take temperature resistance to a molecular level. Tardigrade steamy water bears can survive near absolute zero in boiling water by entering a cryptobiotic state. They shut down nearly all biological activity and become almost indestructible. But even they aren't immortal. Radiation, environmental change, and ecosystem collapse can eventually destroy them. Indestructible doesn't mean eternal. Elephants in scorching savannas flap their massive ears to cool blood and regulate body temperature. They also dig for underground water sources. But droughts are becoming longer and deadlier. Without enough water, even the mighty elephant is vulnerable. Calves can die quickly, and weakened herds become targets for predators and poachers alike. Insects like monarch butterflies use internal biological clocks to migrate and survive temperature changes. But light pollution, climate shifts, and habitat destruction are disrupting those rhythms. One wrong cue, and millions could perish mid-migration. Timing, once hardwired by evolution, is now being scrambled by human interference. Bats in cold caves hibernate to survive winter months. Their heart rate drops from hundreds of beats per minute to single digits. But disturbances during hibernation can be fatal. A sudden noise or light can wake them, forcing them to burn through stored fat and starve before spring. Even a flashlight from a curious hiker can accidentally cause a mass die-off. Across every continent and ecosystem, animals walk a razor-thin line between life and death in extreme temperatures. Their bodies are marvels of adaptation, behaviors, masterclasses, and survival strategy. But even the best adaptations can be overwhelmed by shifting climates, vanishing habitats, or a single, unexpected change. Survival isn't a guarantee. It's a daily war against the elements, fought in silence, hidden from view, but raging constantly. The more we understand their fight, the more urgent it becomes to protect their world before their resilience finally runs out.